Welcome to the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast, the show where real estate investors talk strategy, capital, deals, and growth with your host, Dave Dubeau.
You know, a lot of people talk about having a family business. Well, today's guest, Tyler Harding, really has a family business because it's not just Tyler and one member of his family. It's Tyler and 5 members of his family that make up High Caliber Multifamily. So Tyler, zooming in from Utah, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, or me, Dave.
Well, one of you anyhow, that's for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of you. All right.
It's everybody, so we're all
It is. So before we talk about the family connection, maybe just give us a little snapshot of what you invest in and what the portfolio currently consists of.
Yeah, for sure. As of right now, we invest solely in multifamily, as the name would imply. And we look at mostly C plus, B class, in B class areas, so that we can really go in, do those renovations, bring it up, traditional value add style.
That's what you're really looking to do. Okay, that makes sense. And the size of the properties that you guys typically go after?
Well, if you look at our portfolio, we have one smaller one that's a joint venture that we did, but for the most part, we're looking at 100 to 150 plus, somewhere in there.
All right. Very, very good. So like I mentioned at the top of the show, you guys are a family business. So I was looking at the website, I think it's you and a spouse, a brother and a spouse, and your parents. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's everybody.
So tell me a little bit about how this all came together.
Yeah. So the initial family, right? It's my parents, me and my brother. That's our entire family. So all of us are invested in this as a true traditional family business. It started back, and I'll spare you the really long, detailed story.
Yeah.
It started back with an idea of like, hey, I want to be able to retire, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. I had a great job putting into a 401k, and I crunched the numbers, and I was like, dude, I'm never going to be able to retire. Or if I do, I'm going to be like 70 years old. And me and my buddy, we've always been, interested in math, and we started crunching the numbers on what real estate would look like. And started with multifamily, realized it didn't scale fast enough for what we wanted to do. And so we started.
Multifamily didn't scale fast enough?
Single family, sorry.
Single family, got it. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, single family didn't scale fast enough. And so then we looked at multifamily and scaling quicker with that. And I had an established career. My brother had an established career. Both our wives worked. And my mom had just sold her accounting practice. And so she was looking at doing something else. So she's like, hey, I'm going to try this and move forward. And, a couple of years later, all of us jumped in and started on this whole project together. So
how long has the company High Caliber been going for?
Yeah, we started in late 2017. So we're coming up on roughly 10 years.
Wow. That's great. And was it all 6 of you from day one, or was it a few of you and then the rest jumped in once they saw you're doing all right with it?
Yeah. When you ask people to leave established careers, you have to have a proven business model. And so it took a little bit for us to, leave our safety net and jump in. So it definitely wasn't all at one time.
Yeah. So working with your parents and your brother and your spouses, it could sound like an absolute dream come true, or it could be a hair-tearing, teeth-gnashing ultimate nightmare. How do you guys not have it turn into a nightmare? And I'm sure sometimes it is, but like, how do you work with family members and things not go off the rails? Because it happens so often with family companies, right?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the biggest feedback I get from people when I say, we're a true family business. They're like, man, I would hate to work with my family. Or they're like, oh, that's the ultimate dream, is to work with my family. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's about respect, really. Like, we're all adults, right? All of us have grown up. We've all had careers. We all have our own lanes that we are professionals in. And everybody needs to respect that, right? Like mom is always going to be mom, but she's also the asset manager. And so she needs to stay in that lane and do the asset manager things. And so built upon respect, it doesn't get off the rails too often. It makes family dinners awkward sometimes because we talk about business probably way too much.
Yeah.
And,
Well, how can you not, right? I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
It's so intertwined with what we do that sometimes, it's a normal family dinner where we're just hanging out, having a great time, turns into a 3-hour conversation about what the next move for the company is.
Yeah. So there's 6 of you. How do you divvy up the responsibilities? You talked a little bit about your mom being the asset manager. What do the rest of you guys get to do?
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, the wives are part of the company, but they still have their own thing. So my wife does some of the marketing stuff for us, like designing, graphics for the backgrounds, so that we look, halfway decent wherever.
Looking good. She's doing a good job. Yeah.
My brother's wife does a lot of the the customer relations stuff. So when we have investors invest into a property, we usually send them some kind of care package. So she helps build all of those. She's very creative in that aspect. They play a much smaller part. The larger part myself. So I do acquisitions, underwriting, a little bit of the capital side of finding investor relations. My brother is 100% on the operations side. So he does the asset management with my mother and a lot of the visits to the complexes. Like I said, my mom is the asset manager, so that's what she does, but she also does an education side of it too, which teaching about asset management and how to look at every single apartment complex as a small business and how to forensic account all of those things. And then my dad is the glue that holds it all together. So he does a lot of the acquisitions underwriting with me, but really he's the brains behind the operation, the thing that kind of is more of the big picture stuff.
Very, very cool. All right. That's interesting. Excellent. All right. So you told us a little bit about the portfolio. You told us about what your buy box is. Now that you're coming up on 10 years into the business, you've got a track record, you've got experience, you've probably taken some hits along the way. I know you have, everybody does. What do you still love about real estate 10 years in? What makes you passionate about going to work every day?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's kind of twofold, right? A lot of I talk a lot about mission, vision, and values, and how when you hire a property manager, those 3 things have to line up. And it's the same with your investors and your GP team, like that mission, vision, and values all have to line up. And one of the big things that we do at High Caliber is something called complex to community. A lot of properties that we buy are a complex. People move there, they live there, they go to work, they go home.
Everybody's strangers. Nobody knows their neighbors. It's just shelter, basically.
And so we want to change the thought process of people into more of a community. And so we hold monthly events that we pay on time incentives. We'll have a pizza party the 5th of every month because that's the day that rent's due. And so if you paid your rent that day or before, come get a slice of pizza, talk to people. It's about turning the office into something other than the principal's office. Because really that's the only reason that people go to the office is they're like, hey, I can't pay my rent. I got to talk to the leasing agent. Or I got this citation on my door for something I did wrong. And those things happen. But it needs to have a better feel to it. And because we do those things, our retention rate is 85% plus.
Wow.
And we also, last year, like the entire year, one of our properties, we had $17 in delinquencies on 152 units.
That's amazing. Wow. Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
And it's just this ideology switch, but your property management has to be on board with that. And so what gets me excited about this, like I said, it's twofold. Sorry, that was a really long explanation to get there. It's twofold. It's providing a beautiful place for people to live, because we know that there's probably an entire generation of people that will not be homeowners. They will be renters forever. And we want to give them a great place to live. And the other part is very selfish on our part. It's a generational play for us, a legacy play. This is how we're going to build a business and be able to fund the lifestyle that our families want to be able to do, that we can spend more time together. Believe it or not, we work together, but our goal is to spend more time together.
Without working so hard.
Yes, without working.
Yeah.
Without working all day long. Yeah.
Well, that is a wonderful goal to have. That's for sure, Tyler. I love that example you shared about the monthly pizza party kind of thing. What other things, if anything, or is that enough? Or do you do anything else to kind of create that sense of community?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we actually have usually about three events every month. Every month there's some kind of holiday that comes up, right? Like 4th of July is coming up. And we're going to do a grill and chill. Memorial Day is another grill and chill day. We open up the pool. We usually leverage our partnerships with local communities. So we'll go to like a local meat place and, hey, say we're doing this. Would you guys be willing to throw in a couple bucks to be able to sponsor this? Or if we've been doing a lot of renovations, we'll hit up the Home Depot or Sherwin-Williams, like places that we're buying a ton of products for, and be like, hey, we've supplied you with a ton of business. Help us with like a $50 gift card to be able to throw this. And so we leverage the relationship so that we're not putting it all on our investors to be able to do these things. But we always want to be able to give back to the community. And so we keep everything local. We do the usually one holiday, a pay on time incentive, and a birthday party. So
everybody had a birthday that month, kind of.
Correct. Everybody that had a birthday that month, we get the local bakery involved. We don't want to go to like Walmart and buy cupcakes from them. We go to a local bakery and get cupcakes from them. Or we do like graduations coming up this month. So this month it's going to be graduation. So we'll go to a local bakery, get a cake, says congratulations seniors in the school colors for the high school that feeds into the apartment complex. Okay. That will be the monthly event then.
Really smart, Tyler. Who came up with these ideas?
This is my mother. Yeah, Cindy Harding.
She is a smart lady. That is, especially coming from accountants, they usually don't think that way. So she's a different breed. That's really, really smart. And what's fascinating to me is it's not like all of these communities are in one town that you guys live in. These are spread out again in multiple different cities, in multiple different states with multiple different property management companies who probably have to do the lion's share of the work for doing all of that. So yeah, I can see how that side of things is pretty intensive to keep on top of things and make sure it's getting done properly. Have you got it dialed down? I imagine you got it dialed into a system now that you're doing this 3 times a month across multiple different properties in multiple different states.
Yeah, honestly, it all comes down to structure and SOPs. And that is probably the last 2 years, what we've really been focusing on is being able to create a playbook so that when we hire a property management company, we can say, here's the playbook. This is what we want to do. Is this in alignment with what you're willing to do? And if they're not, we need to find a new one. But
so are they charging extra for this? Or is this just part of the service that you're getting them to do?
This is part of a contract, man. They signed up to run this community, and we want them to do it.
And you want them to help turn it into an actual community, not just a complex. Yeah.
And
very, very cool.
One of the things that we enact with property management companies, because they are all remote, right, is that for the first year, we meet with them once a week to go through what's happening at the property, what are their KPIs, what do they need to hit, what are they focused on, and how can we help them achieve their goals. And that's a non-negotiable for us, the first year, once a week.
And then after the first year, what does it scale back to?
Yeah, if they're doing a great job and they've hit all the KPIs, benchmarks, they're doing exactly what they need and they need less handholding, we can scale it back to every other week or once a month. It kind of just depends on how they're feeling, how we're feeling, how the GP team feels. It's very much a team decision on what happens at that point.
All right. So you mentioned GPs a couple of times. Are most of your deals structured with a boots on the ground local GP, or is it just how are your deals, your properties typically structured?
Yeah. So every deal that we have right now, except for one, we have local boots on the ground GP. It makes it a lot easier when we do site visits, because if something does go down, we can get that GP out there pretty quick. But we have no qualms about jumping on a plane tomorrow and heading out if that's what needs to happen. And recently, we actually had a property management company that vacated the premises about 3 days after we told them, hey, we're going to have to find somebody else. This isn't working out.
Oh, they just quit on you.
Dropped it and walked. Yeah.
Wow.
And so we had an all hands on deck. Several GP members had to fly out there so that we could keep the property going. So sometimes emergencies happen and you have to be willing to flex, and we have the ability to be nimble in that aspect.
So it sounds like the GPs are great for emergency situations like that. What other value do they bring to the table as part of the GP team? Like what are their typical responsibilities? Are they more involved in the capital raising side of things? Are they in the deal finding side of things? Where do they typically fit in?
Yeah. I mean, all of our deals have GPs that are specialized in a lot of different ways. Some are more on the capital raising side and investor relations and making sure that communications go out. A couple of things that we've enacted in every single deal that we do is a monthly newsletter to our investors. And obviously the capital raising side of the GP team is usually more invested in that newsletter side. We also have a asset management team that we put together. And so everybody has dedicated roles inside of the asset management team on what they're going to do, whether it's special projects, like we recently put in a playground and a pickleball court in one of our properties, or it's the public visibility, which is one of the things that I'm over on one of the communities that we have. Everybody kind of has their own role that they're assigned within it, but every GP member has to pull their weight. And that's why it's important to be selective about the GP members that you bring to the table, because they need to be helping.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So as we're wrapping things up here, Tyler, who are you looking to connect with more these days?
Yeah, that's also a great question. You're full of us today.
Full of something, Matt. I'm glad it's good questions for you.
Yeah. Honestly, when we first started a couple of years ago, it was we need to connect with anybody and everybody. And we found that was probably not the correct business model. It's more meaningful connections. And so, the people that we connect to right now are the people who are interested in multifamily specifically, whether they're looking to be GP members or, grow their portfolio passively. We have places for everybody. We also have, like I said, an education program for people that want to be asset managers or just want to grow their ROO, which is what we call it, right? Your return on operations.
Oh, good.
And so if you're currently an asset manager and you want to see if there's a better way to do things, there's ways that we can help you with that too. And that's really, we're looking for partners and people that want to learn.
Nice. So if people do want to connect with you guys, Tyler, where's the best place for them to go?
Absolutely. Best place you can go is to our website. So you can go to highcalibermultifamily.com or hcmfllc.com. That is a couple of things that you can do from there. Our education is on there. You can sign up to chat with myself, with Cindy, with Lorik. There's a link there. You can also see all of the podcasts. We have a podcast tour that we've put up there. And then we also hold a monthly webinar with me and Cindy. It's called A Day in the Life of an Asset Manager and an Underwriter. We tried to look for the longest title possible, and that was as many.
You did a good job. Yeah.
So we do that monthly, and the first about 30 minutes of it is a case study. What happened this month on a property, real time, real problems, real solutions. And then we take about 15 minutes worth of questions, and we usually have a 15-minute educational session, something that we feel is important that we push out and talk about. And you can see all of our previous day in the lives that are also on the website too.
Very, very smart. Tyler, this has been great. Thanks for sharing some golden nuggets of wisdom. You guys are doing a lot of smart things. I love what you're doing for turning complexes into communities. That sounds like a good title for this episode, actually. And, and just the smart things that you're doing to really create that connection and turn that property manager space in the complex into something more than just the principal's office that you called it, a place people look forward to going to, looking forward to actually connecting with other people in the community there. I think that's really, really smart. One of the many smart things that you guys are doing. So tip of the hat to you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for having me on here. It was wonderful to be able to talk with you.
Likewise. All right, everybody. Take care, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Property Profits Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, apply at daveinterviews.com.